I'm Bill Martin. My home is in Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm retired. I just spent the last 15 years in Africa working in humanitarian projects, and prior to that, I spent 22 years as a corporate executive. And so now I'm traveling for 3 months in Europe and Russia. So now I have a 3-year visa. I'm good till May 2020, and I can come multiple times to Russia, and with a maximum stay of 6 months each visit. Question about safety. I felt very safe here, and I may not be the normal American tourist because I've worked in war zones before, but this is extremely safe. I flew from Berlin to Moscow first, and when I arrived in Moscow, I had a 3-hour layover for my next flight to Timane. And I was extremely surprised how efficient the Moscow airport was for customs and for immigration. I stood in the immigration line for maybe 4 to 5 minutes. When I went up to the window, the woman customs official smiled at me and asked for my passport. It was a matter of maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and she handed it back and said, "Keep this paper with your passport." And I went out and went over to the Aeroflot office or desk and asked them where I could wait, and so they showed me where the lounges were. They were extremely helpful, and so it made it a very pleasant 3.5 hours while I was waiting.
Great.
I think the most important impression that I have is that it's a friendly area, and there's a lot to see. My biggest joy was traveling to the rural area and going through a Russian hut. And there we were guests of a family, and the traditional Russian farm family of probably the late 1800s, early 1900s. And it was extremely enjoyable. And the host treated us like royalty, told us all of the stories of the house, of the village. We went out onto the farm. I even got to pull a rake or a plow to see what it's like. So in any large city, there's a lot to see, but it's also great to visit the rural areas because there's exciting activities going on there also. Most of my hosts have been trying to give me traditional Russian food, so some of that was new to me. A lot of it was new to me, but it was good. It was very good, and I've had 20 different types of natural teas from this area, and the local beer, and all of the other items that you would have at a meal.
Okay, what do you think about Russian banya? I know that you bathed into the river.
Yes. The rivers are cold here, but it was great, and I'm not certain what branches they used to beat on my back, but Vinny. Okay, it was great, and it was very relaxing. So the best part about visiting, and especially in the rural areas, is that you get to meet people, talk with them, and understand, and it develops some good relationships.
Do you plan to visit Russia again in the future?
I have a 3-year visa, so yes, I'll take full advantage of it.
Okay, so thank you, Bill, and welcome to Russia.